Hey, wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cruise Amigos show. And just look, we have the most wonderful panel of guests. We are so honored, gang. I cannot tell you how honored we are. Welcome to our show. And everybody out there watching the show, please ask any questions because we've got some wonderful people there with lots of experience about the cruise industry. And what we're going to do, I'm going to go through everybody and introduce everybody, and then I'm going to ask all our wonderful guests to give their advice on how to and where to cruise in 2021. Yeah, wonderful. So, John, if you can put me back to the main screen, please. I'm going to introduce everybody, and I'm going to go next to me. We have Melissa from Cruise Shop Save. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Hi, Pete. Hi, John. Hi, gang. How's everybody?
We're all good. Thank you so much. And we have the wonderful Emma Cruises. Emma? That's not Emma. This is Emma. Hi, Emma. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's nice to be here again.
And Emma, you've changed the name of your group.
Only slightly, because it got a bit confusing. You know how Facebook updates constantly. It looked like everything was being said by me, so I kept getting tagged in things. And I hadn't said them, and I thought this is a bit dangerous, so I've just changed it slightly to get rid of that confusion. But yeah, okay. It's still got Emma Cruises in it, so people can still find it.
Always be Emma Cruises. And thank you so much. And we have the wonderful Jeannine Williamson.
Hello, everybody.
Award-winning writer and affectionately known as the River Cruise Queen. Hi, Jeannine.
Oh, thanks very much, and thank you for inviting me back. It's great to see you and to meet the others.
Oh, we're so excited. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we have Tyler in Florida from the Tyler Show. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Pete. Thanks for inviting me on. Appreciate it.
It's going to be so good to get a younger person's view as well. And also, obviously, from America, it's slightly different to how things are going to be in 2021. I look forward to hearing about how things are. So, hi, Tyler. Of course, we have Amigo Martin. Hi, Martin from Manchester.
Hello. Are you saying I'm old, Pete?
Well, the scary thing is, Martin, you're actually younger than me, so I think I might be one of the oldest people here, sadly.
I used to have a dark beard till this pandemic hit.
There we go.
Now I'm great.
And we have Sue Bryant, the cruise editor of the Times and the Sunday Times. Thank you, Sue, so much for coming back.
Thank you very much for having me. It's nice to be back.
We're so honoured, Sue, and obviously looking forward to hearing all your expertise as well. And next to Sue, from America, we have another from America. We have the lovely Shelby. I call the solo travel expert.
Yes, great to be here and be with all of you. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Right, okay, this is not about me. It's not about us. It's about you guys. It's about our wonderful guests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. Hi. Oh, we got John. John's appeared. I forgot about good news today, by the way. Really good news. John is muted, so that's really positive. Yeah? So a lot of people are going to be very happy about that. I know they wish I was muted. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask all our guests one by one. Please talk about your ideas, your tips, your recommendations of where to cruise and how to cruise in 2021. Now, there was no way I could choose who goes first. So I've got this, yeah? Everyone's name's in there. It's like a prize, isn't it? To see who goes first. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick one out. I've got no idea who this is. I'm going to open it up. We have Shelby.
Isn't that funny?
Our solo travel expert. So Shelby, obviously you're in America. Things are slightly different to how things are in America and the Caribbean. Please, can you give everyone watching the show your tips of how to and where to cruise in 2021?
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I did not want to be first, so that's funny. It's a little bit different here in the States, and we have not had a chance to discuss all our viewpoints yet. So hopefully we're all in alignment. But if so, if I say anything that you guys feel would be more helpful, I would love your feedback as well, because I think some of you have your finger on the pulse even more than I do. In America here, the vaccines are rolling out. Right now, this week was the first week that 40-year-olds were allowed to get the vaccine. So we've gone down from 65 years old to 40. And what they've told us is that everyone in the US should have the opportunity to get vaccinated by May. So that does open summer up for us. The CDC has not taken back their November 21st no sale order in the US. And so we do have a few cruise lines that are kind of going around this by going out of different ports that are not in the US base, such as Bahamas or Bermuda. So those things are different and new for us, and we only have a few cruise lines doing that, but they're really keen on starting in June, and they are requiring all adult guests to be vaccinated. So that's those are things that are kind of new to us and in the States. And I think, you know, it's weighed half and half on whether or not people are happy about it. Some people are thrilled. I have guests that are absolutely thrilled about it, that they're going to all be vaccinated. And I have guests that don't want to be forced to be vaccinated to go on board. So we're kind of half and half there. Personally, Travel.fun, our cruise company, we are going to be doing July 14th with Richard Branson on Virgin Voyages. So we have a group booked for that. It's mostly we do singles and solos, but in this particular cruise, we've invited everyone that's fun because, you know, cruising, everyone's been held off from cruising. So all information is travelfun.biz, but it's really a new time for cruising in the States. And I guess my biggest tip would be to make sure you're booking with a travel agent so that you can get all of that information correct, so that you don't waste a lot of time, and also just be flexible and understand that we still are in a flux up down here. So that would be my biggest tip. But I'm really excited to hear everyone else's tips, to be honest with you, because I think you guys have your finger on the pulse all the time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Shelby. Everybody in the comments, by the way, we will get to you. We will get to all the comments at some point, but I have to go to our guest first. So I wonder who's going to be next. I know it ain't me because I'm not in there, I'm glad to say. Who do you think? Let's have it, open it up. Do you know what? We're staying in America. Can you believe it? I'm so sorry, the UK. The Tyler show. Tyler, you've come out next.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it or not. So please give us your tips.
Okay. So again, the way cruising is in the U.S. right now, it's non-existent because of the CDC's, of course, no sale order. As mentioned earlier, as of right now, again, the vaccine rollout, it's playing a major role into what the cruise lines claim they're going to be sailing, right? They claim that vaccines will play a crucial role into the restart out of the U.S. Well, however, here in the U.S., when it comes to cruising, that means the time frame could be sped up. And basically, with the vaccine rollout, again, as been mentioned earlier, it basically gets rid of the CFO, or the Cruise Ship Framework sailing. So that's currently wiped out because it basically the framework was written back in the time when there was no vaccines in the picture. So that means, in theory now, if the CDC does cooperate with the cruise lines, which may not look like it, that means we could see a summer season here out of the U.S. However, if I were you, I would personally not take that, take that as not happening, just due to the fact that, again, Christine Duffy from Carnival, she did say in the meeting with Governor Ron DeSantis and a whole bunch of other cruise industry experts down in Port Canaveral, they said if they don't get any movement in the next few weeks, the summer cruises are most likely not going to happen, just due to the time of restaffing cruise ships. So personally, I would, if you were going to book a summer cruise and if you are vaccinated, would go ahead and book one of these, and if you have the money to go, book one of these sailings out of the Bahamas on board either Royal Caribbean or Crystal Cruise Line, or St. Martin with Celebrity, because those, as right now, if you're out of North America, the most likely chance of you getting on a cruise ship anytime soon. Because also another thing to remember with cruising out of the U.S., the CDC has to change their level 4 travel advisory for cruise ships, because again, as of right now, the CDC currently has a level 4 travel advisory on cruise ships, which basically prohibits them from sailing out of the U.S.
Wow.
That also goes against the same thing for river cruising.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, absolutely. Especially we have our river cruise queen from the UK, which is fantastic. Right, it's going to be from the UK, I know that. Who's going to be our first person on the UK? We have Emma from Emma Cruises. Hi, Emma.
Hello. I don't know why this being here with you guys makes me so much more nervous than when I do my own live streams, where I think I had 500 people the other day on my live stream, and this makes me more nervous because I really like all of you guys and I can see you. But in the UK, we have had so much news in the last couple of weeks. Local cruise lines have announced UK voyages, voyages to nowhere, or voyages with a couple of UK ports. Most of them are requiring vaccines at the minute, which if you're someone like me in your 20s, I'm right at the end of that list. So I think it's going to be autumn time before I get my vaccine and can cruise that way. But MSC cruises, who have been cruising since last July, are cruising and not requiring vaccines. So I'm hoping to get on board a MSC cruise before I can have my vaccine and cruise with the other cruise lines. And I would suggest to anybody who isn't going to have their vaccine in time and still wants to cruise, try an MSC cruise. Try it with an open mind. Don't go thinking it's going to be like Royal Caribbean or Norwegian, because it is very, very different. But I've always been a fan of MSC. I've cruised with them 3 times now, and I would say just try it. Just treat it as, you know, something different. It's a chance to try something for a few days. They haven't announced the itineraries yet, MSC, but it's coming, I think, soon, very soon. So try an MSC cruise. It's really your only option if you haven't got a vaccine yet, to be honest with you, and you're in the UK. But it is fun, so just go and have fun.
Wow, thank you so much, Emma. I've noticed in chats, by the way, that we're only getting the chat from YouTube for some reason. So something technical's happened with the Facebook chat, because I know people are watching on Facebook, but I'm not seeing any chats. Right, let's see who is next. We have our River Cruise Queen and writer, award-winning writer, Jeannine Williamson. Thank you, Jeannine.
Oh, thank you, Pete. Well, I'm going to start off by talking about ocean, because that has been the biggest news in the past week. We've all been so excited. But it is now 8 cruise lines have announced that they're going to start beginning in May, as Emma said, with MSC. And so the vaccines are being rolled out. Some are requiring vaccines, others aren't. So the main thing is to start booking your cruises now. I mean, the really good news is we're having all these lines that are coming to the UK, several of them with brand new ships. So it's the chance to sail on a new ship, such as Viking Venus, P&O Cruises Iona, 2 new ships with Fred Olsen. So that's very exciting, as well as the itineraries they're doing, which are going to be a mix of both coastal cruising and cruises that are going to have some ports of call. Now, my main tip would be to book early and book now, because there's going to be everybody's offering really good booking conditions with no risk deposits and very flexible bookings. So you don't need to worry about booking. But get in there, because when the first day when the P&O cruises went on sale, the website completely crashed, and some of them are still yet to go on sale. And I think there's going to be huge demand. So get in there.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. I really do. Right. We only have 2 left. Who's it going to be? Let's have a look. Opening up. Wonder who's going to be there. We have Melissa from Cruise Shop Save. And then, of course, we're going to have the wonderful Sue after that. Melissa.
Hi, I'm so glad I'm second from last. I was like, my heart was like this. I'm like, Emma, this is so nerve-wracking. I'm so nervous because there's so many amazing people here, and there's not really anything else I can add to anything that Tyler has said, or Cruises for Solos, or Emma, who is the all expert in UK cruising. The only thing, all I can do is agree with what everybody's saying. Definitely book early. And the one thing I would ask, if anyone's watching this, what they think about cruising on MSC without a vaccine. I mean, it might be something that's necessary for people that are younger, as Emma says, but some people may prefer to cruise once they've been vaccinated as well. So, but the way that the vaccination is rolling out here in the UK, my sister actually just got called up for her second jab. But maybe I could also add about the discussion that they're having about the cruise certificates or the cruise, not cruise certificates, the vaccination certificates, because how are they going to know whether people have been vaccinated or not? Do we think that this is a foregone conclusion, that actually people will have to provide some kind of proof that they have been vaccinated in order to cruise? And then, you know, the only other thing to talk about, I guess, is the river cruising, which is around the European river cruising. Anyway, I'm really curious to find out whether this will be starting this summer or whether it will be pushed back to later. And I'd really like to know more about the river cruising in the USA, that perhaps one of our American guests here experts could enlighten us a little bit more. So sorry, I can't add any more, but we've got much more qualified people in the group than I am.
Absolutely. And I guess, Sue, obviously a lot's been said, you know, so in some ways it's the hardest to go last. But Sue, from the Times, cruise editor of the Times and the Sunday Times, please let us know about your thoughts about, and obviously where you'd love to cruise to as well.
Oh, well, that's a completely different point, where I'd love to cruise to and where I'll be able to cruise. So some of my thoughts about this summer are, I think it's time to embrace the idea of a cruise to nowhere. You know, it's being sold as a scenic cruise, but you're not actually going to get off the ship. And I think we're going to have some big announcements tomorrow. There are 3 big announcements coming tomorrow, all of which are embargoed, so we can't talk about any of them. But the fact is, the ship you're on will become your holiday destination. And I mean, it's said I think in the Times this morning, it said something like a week in Butlins is like $3,000 for a family or something. No, thank you. I mean, I'd far rather be on a cruise where there are something like 30 different, on some of the big ships like P&O Iona, there's something like 30 different places to eat and drink. The entertainment will be fabulous. The scenery will be lovely, even though you can't get off the ship. And there's so many things to do. You'll never get bored. And having done 3 transatlantic crossings, and everyone says, didn't you get bored because it's 7 days at sea? The answer is no, not for 1 minute. So I really think this summer's going to be a chance to sail on some absolutely spectacular ships at quite reasonable prices. So let's not worry if you can't get off the ship. And my other tip, completely the opposite end of the spectrum, is let's not forget the small ships that are going to be sailing around the British Isles. We've got Trade Wind Voyages launching, which is really exciting, big sailing ship. And Noble Caledonia and Riviera Travel are all sailing small ships where you can get off. There will be excursions. So, I mean, at the moment, all the focus is on the big ships because there's been so many announcements in the last week or so, and more to come tomorrow. And can I add one more tip? Can I add one more thing?
Please do.
So, if I could go anywhere, in my dreams, there's a total solar eclipse in Antarctica in December, and lots of cruise lines are doing massively expensive expeditions to go there and be in the path of totality of the eclipse on a sort of like 12, 14-day expedition to Antarctica. So this is a one-off. So if you win the lottery between now and December, that's my hot tip.
Wow. That is a wonderful hot tip. Thank you so much, Sue. And I'm going to say hello to Amiga Martin, because obviously one of our lovely travel agents on the show as well. Martin, can you just give us a rundown of which cruises are cruising where in the UK?
Wow. Well, as everybody said, there's been so many announcements this week. It's just every day you were getting them coming in, which is absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, at the moment, we've got Cunard going on sale. They go on sale on the 31st of March. They're going to be doing 3, 4, 7, 10, and 12 night sailings. We've got Royal Caribbean's Jewel at the Seas out of Limassol in Cyprus. Goes on sale the 7th of April, doing 7-night turnarounds. So that's a good one. The Bahamas, which has already been mentioned on Vision of the Seas. Quantum, we know, is already sailing, has been sailing very successfully in Singapore, which is all good. Celebrity Apex, Celebrity Cruises were originally a Greek cruise line. They're going to be sailing on the beautiful brand new Celebrity Apex, doing 6, 7, and 8 night sailings around the Greek Isles, which looks fabulous. I'm looking forward to getting on one of them because I had my Apex sailing cancelled, as you all know. We've got Disney due to announce this week about what they will be doing. We think that's coming up very, very soon. MSC, everybody's mentioned, they're going to be doing sailings around the UK, and it's a very controversial one. As Emma said, what would you want to sail with somebody who hasn't been vaccinated, or are you going to wait? So, but for families who want to get away who can't, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. for MSC. P&O have already been on sale for a while, and so much so that P&O changed 6 of their sailings and combined them into 7 night sailings rather than 3 and 4 nights. So that was quite a turnaround, which was great because anybody who booked the 4 night sailings got a 7 night sailing for the same price. I thought that was great offer from P&O. Princess are out there with the Regal and Sky Princess sailing from Southampton. Big one is Disney. Disney are coming up, and apparently they're going to be sailing out of Liverpool, so that's going to be good because I'm just down the road in Manchester. So I'm going to try and get on one of them, I think. And then we've still got Marella, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, and Celebrity to say whether they're going to be doing anything out the UK. So, like everybody said, there's going to be a ship out there for everybody. Fred Olsen are out there as well with some fabulous sailings, and some of their launches on the new ships, the Borealis, and Ballet. $399 is a price for a launch cruise in vodka only. No gin, I prefer gin. It's a great time, and I would just say to everybody, if you do book one of these cruises, is just be flexible because it's an unknown at the moment. They're trying to get out there. They're going to get out and sail, but they may change. They may go different places. They may come out of Southampton and turn left or right, depending where the sun is. It's absolutely fantastic time for cruises out there, and the market's really good.
Right. Fantastic, Martin. Right, before I go to some questions, I've got a few questions I want to ask. So, John, be ready. I just want to check the cruises that are going in the United States, in North America. Yes, so it says sorry. It says so. John, if you'd like to go back to the main panel, please. So, so Tyler, I'd like to ask you, Tyler, what cruises are going from where, and how can you get to them? So, if you want to cruise from America, how can you cruise from America this summer?
So if you want to cruise this summer, well, of course, major ocean ship cruising sadly looks like it's not going to happen. But however, smaller cruise lines to basically do river cruises or coastal cruises, they have announced that they're going to be cruising out of the U.S. Right now as we speak. And those, as of right now, 2 lines are American Cruise Line with the American Independence, one of their smaller, older coastal class cruise ships, sailing out of Jacksonville, going up to Brunswick, Savannah, Hilton Head, and Charleston. That's currently sailing right now. Plus, American Cruise Lines also going to be sailing out of the U.S. In the following days with the American Jazz, one of their new modern riverboat ships, which are meant to be just like the river cruise ships all the way over there in Europe. And also the other American river cruise line, American Queen Steamboat Company. They're the first major cruise line out of the U.S. to require the vaccine. They're sailing on the brand new ship, the American Countess, and also, I believe, on the Duchess. But that's as of right now are the only 2 lines you could sail out of the U.S. as of right now. Later in the season, there's supposed to be some Alaskan sailings on Uncruise. But again, for out of the U.S., not much major ocean cruising happening. But again, river cruising will be happening because with this cruise ship framework for sailing, any vessel carrying less than 250 passengers and crew, they can go ahead and sail without having to follow any of the CDC's guidelines for cruising.
Wonderful. Thanks, Tyler. Right, I'm going to ask you about where they're going to cruise. John?
I'm really sorry, but I think the comments are not working because I'm talking to the comments. And my comments are not going up there. So
okay, well, I'll go through the comments and we can get a few answers.
Yeah.
And
do you see?
I'll do it that way. I'll start from the
last
top,
thing I show is the Tyler show. Hey, Nathan, at best.
Yep, I've got them. Got them.
All right, I'll
ask the question. That way you don't know what's going to be said, basically.
Yeah.
Way. Because Sunny is obviously Sunny Travels. Hi, Justin. How you doing? He's asked a few questions. He's on about the vaccinations vary state by state. We've got Best of Boat Worlds. Hello. Sunny Travels again. Gaynor. Hi, Gaynor. Emma's mum. Hi. Glad you're there. Thank you, Shelby. Tristan and Justin. This is an interesting question actually, and it says how do the panel believe the 3rd wave in Europe may affect cruises in Europe this summer, vaccinated or not vaccinated? I'm going to start next to me with Jeannine.
Well, of course, that is the big question because, I'm obviously desperate for river cruises to start. And unfortunately, cases have been increasing in France and Germany recently. And so at the moment, river cruises are on hold. May 17th, we're all going to know when we can start traveling again abroad. But unfortunately, there really is no definitive answer to what's going on at the moment. As other panelists have said, it's a very, very flexible and fluid situation. With the river cruise lines, we still haven't got any definite dates of when they're going to start, because a lot of them do depend on our friends coming over from the US to cruise on them, and they make up, on some of the lines, a large majority of the passengers. And so until we can all start travelling around again, unfortunately, it's still very much hanging in the balance. So there isn't really a clear answer to that, I'm afraid.
I'm going to ask also Sue, because I know, Sue, you have a Sunday roast cooking ready to go. Probably, and we don't want you to burn your roast, so you're going to be leaving us in a few minutes, unfortunately. And we're so jealous about your roast. Please, if you can also give your views on that, that'd be wonderful.
Well, I mean, the thought is that there will be travel corridors opened up, a bit like there were last summer for British cruisers, at least. I mean, Israel is the big one because everyone there's had their vaccine, but we can't go on the cruises that are going out of Israel because they're for Israelis only. But if, for example, there was a travel corridor opened up with Greece, there are opportunities there, certainly Celebrity Apex. France is not looking good at the moment. Oh, hang on. Cut my phone off. Spain, I don't know. Spain is, again, not looking brilliant for being receptive to cruise passengers. But Turkey, if the corridor opens, is possible. And also all the Caribbean countries. I mean, the Caribbean flights are going here. There will be opportunities there. Brits can go on Crystal, they can go on Celebrity, they can go on Royal. And then small ship cruising in the Seychelles could be a possibility. There's a couple of small ships there. So, well, obviously that's not Europe. But yeah, I think the third wave, which is happening now, everything is going to depend on these corridors, and anywhere that's having a lot of cases, it's extremely likely that cruise ships will call there and that we'll be able to go there.
Thanks, Sue. One question to General. Are MSC still sailing in Europe, by the way? I don't know that.
I think so.
So from Genoa, yeah? So MSC are still sailing. That's really interesting. So MSC are still sailing during the third wave as such. So, and they've got a system how to do everything. Right, Emma, a question from Justin, Sunny Travels. And this is one I want to know the answer to. So please tell me, Norwegian Cruise Line have been quiet. Does anyone have any theories or conspiracy theories about what's happening in the NCL? Thanks, Justin.
I don't have any conspiracy theories. I haven't heard anything. Maybe someone else has, but nothing from me. I'd like to. No, nothing.
I can say something?
Please, yeah.
The word on the street is that because NCL have announced some redeployments of some of the ships that were going to sail in Europe, but have not actually said where they're going, we're almost expecting them to suddenly make this announcement that they're going to be sailing out of the UK because everybody else is. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see one NCL ship at least doing ex-UK and round Britons. So that's my theory.
I also heard some word on the street that Royal Caribbean may be planning the Harmony of the UK season because she's heading over to dry dock for a 5-year in Cadiz, and then supposedly one of the cruise directors is joining the ship in dry dock, which again, cruise directors are not part of minimal manning, so it is rumored that she is going to head over to the UK this summer.
Wow. And Tyler, Best of Both Worlds, has asked me to ask you, if you went on an American cruise line, which ship would you love to go on, Tyler?
Yeah, so Nathan, I would probably most likely have to pick one of their newest ships, either the American Melody, which is one of their new modern riverboat ships, which are just absolutely stunning. Some of the best riverboat ships out there in the U.S. And again, the river cruising is not like Europe, but I would definitely love to try the American Melody, definitely sailing out of the Mississippi. That would be my dream cruise for American Cruise Line.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tyler. And I've got a P&O question. So who wants to take the P&O question? Maybe Melissa can take that one. From Rob Staines. Hi, Rob. For all of you, what is your opinion of P&O insisting on passengers being fully vaccinated when their cruise will not be? What do you think about that?
Well, I'm sad to say I don't really know much about it, but I think it's a conflict. If they're insisting that, my personal opinion is that that's a bit of a conflict. If they want guests to be vaccinated but not the crew, unless they have some kind of quarantine system for the crew, which I know that they do have the crew insist that the crew are quarantined before they join the ship. and I believe they're not allowed to go ashore at all. So it may work, but I think that there are some cruise lines that are offering vaccinations for their crew, and I really think at the very least they should do that, because the crew come from countries where the vaccination isn't rolling out as smoothly as it is in other countries. But that's just my personal opinion. That's not an official answer. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that, really.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, isn't it? And Lee has said, Shelby, what do you think the biggest changes you'd expect to see with the new cruises?
Well, the biggest changes will be that the vaccines are going to be required, at least it appears that way, for most of the cruise lines that we've utilized. That would be the biggest changes. And then that I believe, from what I've read and spoken to our BDMs, that the shore excursions will also be just through the cruise lines. Like, the guests will not be able to get off unless it's a cruise line approved and sold shore excursion, much like MSC had implemented in the beginning. I think those will be the two biggest changes. And other than that, I honestly think most of us are just so yearning to go. And we'll do whatever they want us to do, but just let us go.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more, Shelby, and especially you, because you are trying to get on a group with Virgin Voyages.
Yeah, they're making some changes. Yeah, I know. Richard Branson, too, is supposed to be on that one. Again, as we've mentioned, naturally, we understand the CDC, they're putting some pressure. CLIA is trying to put some pressure on the CDC to change their ruling. Again, not really for us to... Our opinion doesn't count much, but I don't know that will change, but they are trying. And then, of course, they're skirting around it by going out of the Bahamas and other ports of calls that are close to the U.S. So they may do that as well, but they're still full steam ahead. So we'll see. We're hopeful, but I don't know how much longer hope can hold out.
Absolutely. Sue, are you still okay? Your dinner's not burning, is it?
Oh, it will be soon, but I'm here for a tiny bit longer.
Oh, fantastic. Emma, I talked a question for Emma, because I gave you quite a tough one, really. You're looking, the thing about cruising starting now, John, this is not Emma, this is Sue. Hi, Sue. So, John, get your act together. Emma. Now, obviously, you're one of our younger people in our group. I'm not going to say how old, but a lot younger than we are. And one of the problems you do have, of course, is the vaccination situation. So you feel that the only choice you have at the moment is MSC. You don't have any other choices.
Yeah, I mean, we did have Viking, but that sold out, and Viking's not in my budget. So MSC... For me, I feel quite comfortable with it, because MSC have been practicing this since last July. They've got their processes sorted out by now. They know what they're doing. So I personally would feel much better going on an MSC cruise where I know everybody's had a negative test, rather than if I just go out on land and I go to dinner. I have no idea that the people there have ever had a negative test, let alone in the last couple of days. So I would feel safer on an MSC cruise than on land. I would still prefer to be on a cruise where everyone is vaccinated, but I can't. So you know what I mean? I would much prefer to be obviously on a cruise rather than at land.
Thank you, Emma. And what I would say is, this is what is really exciting for me, is that we got an opportunity as cruisers to cruise to places that we've never cruised before, because cruise lines are changing and they're going to different parts of the world as such. So please, Jeannine, is there a cruise that you have seen out there? I love our technical guy, John. I love him. Jeannine, is there a cruise out there that you have seen that you're thinking, wow, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to go on, because they're probably never going to do this again?
Oh goodness, I mean, that's quite a tough one, because I have said that, the last week, I've really been looking at the Round Britain ones, and to be honest, I'm really excited about them, because I've never done one, and some people are going to new destinations. But on my bucket list, I would love at some point to do an Antarctica cruise. That's really something I'd absolutely love to do. So that would be my dream.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. There are so many that I've seen. Thank you, Jeannine. Back to our panel again, please, John. And I'm going to go from top as we are. Tyler. Oh, you moved. I love it. Sue, is there one of these cruises that you've seen around Britain, that we can get this year, that you're thinking this is probably going to be once in a lifetime? They're probably never going to sail again around Britain or to these particular places.
Actually, there is one I was writing about this week, which is quite a bonkers itinerary. It's one of the Fred Olsen cruises, and it doesn't stop anywhere. But because it's sailing out of Liverpool, it goes up to Shetland and then to the Faroe Islands, and it's all scenic cruising. So it's going through these incredible fjords and sea stacks, absolutely amazing bird watching. And also they have they work with a marine conservation charity called Orca, which I actually volunteer for. And the Orca people will be on board doing whale watch from dawn till dusk. And you should see some incredible whales up there. So even though you won't be going ashore, I think that's probably a place that I would never go to. And only a ship will take you there. So that would be my wish list for the summer.
And
hey,
Emma,
you guys, I just want to say that being the technician is a lot harder than talking. Talking is easy. Pushing the right buttons sucks. Anyway.
John, it's okay, my friend, because most people would rather you were the technician rather than you talking. So we're great with that.
I knew you'd say that, Pete.
Sorry about that. I get a chance to have a go at John now because I'm in the top seat as such. I'm not normally there. Emma, imagine that you've had your vaccine, both vaccines. You're able to jump on a ship here, and these incredible cruise lines that are suddenly coming to the UK. Is there one that's taken your fancy? You go, I wish I could get on that.
Well, I would try a Disney cruise because that's not a cruise line I've ever really looked at, and we never have from the UK, and we have Disney cruises this summer. So if money was not an object, I'd like to get on a Disney ship. Unfortunately, money is a thing, and they're quite expensive, so I probably won't. But it will be interesting, I think, to try a Disney cruise. I've never really been a big Disney person. I just watched The Lion King last year for the first time, so but I will try it.
So I remember I mentioned that when one of your shows, and if you dress up as a mouse, Emma, and sneak on, that might be a way of doing it.
I could do, yeah.
Pete, I'm going to have to go. Sorry.
Sue, thank you so much.
Lovely to see everyone. Sorry to leave early, but
Bye, Sue.
Bye, Sue.
See you next time.
Enjoy your Sunday dinner. Wow. As we got Shelby on there, Shelby, is there a cruise that you thinking that if you could go on that you would love to go? But unfortunately, from your point of view, at the moment, it has to be obviously a cruise that you can get to from America. So our American viewers can watch this. So is there anything that you think would be a wonderful cruise to take?
Well, first, I just want to say I loved everybody's feedback, and those cruises that you were speaking of were excellent, especially a few of those last ones, Jeannine. But for me, I know it's not exotic and it doesn't sound exciting, but I really want to do this Richard Branson Virgin Voyages cruise. That's really all the ones I really want to do. Right now, I feel like it would just be an exciting way to crescendo and start the cruising season. That if they can make it happen, maybe go out of the Bahamas or CDC has a change of heart. I would just love to do something easy like that. And I know it's not exotic, but adults only, and Richard Branson on board with his crew, and that just sounds like a great celebration to opening up cruising again. That's truly what's on my heart, is what I would like to do.
I've got another question about Virgin Voyages, but I'll wait. I'll just ask Melissa. Is there a cruise that you've seen, Melissa, that you're thinking, this is a great opportunity for people to cruise with this cruise line or this itinerary? Is there one you've seen?
Well, I'm all about supporting the destinations because of what I do. My company, Cruise Shop Save, we promote business ashore. So that's shopping, eating, drinking. And I know that all these cruise ship destinations have been devastated because their one and only income has been the guests that come from the cruise ships. And it's the business contracts that the cruise lines have with all the port people, with all the government workers, with all the local businesses that are there. So any cruise ship that goes anywhere and docks and contributes to their local economies, I'm all in favor for. So these cruise ships that are sailing out of Bermuda, Bahamas, St. Martin, big fan of, because, and if you can go ashore, if you can have a cocktail in a bar, if you can eat lunch ashore, if you want to buy your souvenirs ashore, then please do it, because these people are desperate for the cruise ships to come back. And it's great that the ships are sailing from the UK and it's going to help our economy, and I'm grateful for that. But I really do feel like the CDC need to get a move on. They need to be a bit more in line with all the resorts and the hotels, and they really need to give cruising a fair shot out of the US, which goes to all these wonderful destinations that are close to US coastlines all over Alaska, the Caribbean, Bermuda, etc. So I'm just in favor of any ship that goes anywhere to help those local economies.
Well, you've actually led me to a great question also for our American friends, because we're so lucky in the UK. Reasons why we're so excited, all of us, and the groups like Emma's group's gone mad. I know that, which is fantastic. Even my group's got a few people saying stuff on it, which is great for me. Cruises for Solos. Our government, they have actually said that in the UK, that they feel that if we are able to holiday in the UK for May, and we are able to go to these hotels and holiday parks and Butlins and everything else, there's no reason why we can't take a UK cruise either. So they're giving our cruise lines the green light. And that's why all these cruises are suddenly coming towards us. It's like the Armada. It's incredible, right? but from American point of view, Tyler, CDC, please tell us your thoughts on that.
Okay, so it goes a while back. So the CDC, of course, as you all know, they had the no sail order, conditional framework now. However, we're still in phase one of out of 4 phases, right? And this phase one has been in place for over 4 months. And again, 4 months, and they've given zero amount of information to the cruise lines. They say it's been under an intergovernmental review. So that's sadly, right now, means no cruising for us this summer, just because it's under intergovernmental review for phase one. They have to get to phase 4 for them to actually start sailing. So again, as mentioned earlier in the program, the CDC is, the Florida government is trying to get the CDC to lift the conditional framework so we can see July cruises, because that does align with our president's view that we should be back to normal by July the 4th. So in theory, if we didn't have the no sail order, the framework for sailing, we could be cruising by July if everyone was vaccinated like the cruise lines are doing, and if the no sail order was lifted. However, I don't think that's going to be happening, just due to the simple fact that, as we all know, we're only in phase 1 out of 4 for the framework.
Thank you. And Shelby, do you have anything to add to Tyler on that one?
Yeah, no, I actually just have a question for Tyler, because I value your opinion. What do you think? Do you not think that we could sort of see a few phases go quickly, as things have changed and they've all been so fluid? For instance, they had that whole thing with the passengers, Jones Act, the passenger restrictions that they couldn't have people go to Canada, and they skirted around that a little bit and made alter rules so that people might be able to go into Alaska this year. Do you think it's possible that, because I believe it is possible, but I could be wrong, but what's your opinion? Do you think we could kind of, I know you're saying phase 1 to phase 4, but I feel like it's possible that they could change their minds and skip things a little bit quicker if they choose to, if they want to, if they feel it's safe. What do you think? Do you think it's impossible?
Yeah, so I agree. I mean, we could go faster, but the problem is it's not that we couldn't go any faster. It's the phases. It's just the government, CDC, is dragging their feet on the whole cruising restart. They're blaming the Diamond Princess for what the whole no sail order is. Again, the conditional framework, it was basically written in the time before the vaccine was in the rollout. So they kind of wanted the no sail order back when the CDC director, he kind of wanted to stall the cruise ships with the no sail order, just because with all 40 pages, and a lot of it was information that had no vaccines in the picture. So in theory, if we want to see cruising happen the way I see it, we have to see the no sail order dropped, just because, again, the framework was written in a time when there was no vaccines in the picture. So even right now, it couldn't work properly, because the way it was designed was back when we didn't have as good of an idea as what we have now.
Thank you, Tyler. Before I bring Martin in to ask Martin a question as well, I just got to ask Jeannine about river cruising in the UK. Well, the UK in Europe. Is there any news about how river cruising may restart, or what's going to happen with river cruising?
Well, I touched on it earlier. Unfortunately, until we can start travelling abroad to Europe, the lines have all put tentative dates. Well, they haven't really announced dates. They said when they were hoping to start, which keeps getting pushed back with actually no dates specifically announced. And as so many lines do rely on, US travelers to come on them. It'll probably be lines that take international travelers such as quasi-Europe and don't rely on the American market that might well start first because we'll be able to get there. It's because it's not going to be economic for the others to start if they're going to rely on some British and European passengers. I'm really, really, really hoping we are going to get some late season cruises in, Christmas market cruises. That would be absolutely fantastic. At the moment, I don't think it's going to be before August, certainly, but fingers crossed, late summer possibly.
Thanks, Jeannine. And before just bring Martin in, one more question for Emma, really. Emma, Emma Cruises, cruise news, tips and chat. I've got to be careful how I say that, haven't I? What response are you getting from it? I know you've got your wonderful group and you've got so many people talking on there and your YouTube channel as well. What response are you getting from everybody at the moment?
It's strange. I feel like I've been stuck between one side of people who say it's so bad that I can't cruise unless I've had my vaccine, and then the other side says I don't want to cruise with people who haven't had their vaccine. And I'm thinking, like, cruise lines can either go one way or the other. They're not always going to please everybody. I think in my group, I keep it very moderated. If someone's not nice, I just kick them out. I don't have time for them. So we've got a load of nice people in there. 8,000 are the best people in there, and they're all very, very excited. I would say more than half are from America, though. So although we're celebrating here in the UK, they're not kind of in the same position. But hopefully soon, we're keeping our fingers crossed. Everyone's definitely getting excited. I had the most crazy old YouTube video go viral this week about river cruising, and I had over 500,000 views on a video. Why are people watching this now? It makes no sense, but it does show people are looking for river cruise content. So fingers crossed.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks.
I published this video, I think 18 months ago, and it got 1,000 views 18 months ago. And in the last week, 500,000 views.
Wow.
That's amazing. And before
like,
I ask anyone who's
got
any questions, Martin, obviously travel agents have really been through the mire the last year. It's been so tough for travel agents, continually booking and having to rebook and cancel and pay people back. How are things for you now? Are people suddenly coming to book?
It's last week when they went on sale, there was a mad flurry, which was good. It was better than I thought it was going to be, because I thought, like a lot of people, 3-4 nights, I've got to travel down to Southampton or Newcastle, Edinburgh, wherever it is. And I was quite impressed how it went. I think that now that things are moving so fast, and in this country they are with the vaccination rollout, the fact that Boris Johnson is going to be making an announcement, I believe, on the 5th of April. Now, it was the task force were reporting back on the 12th of April. So that gives us a little bit more hope. People are now seeing all these cruise lines going, we're going to be doing X, Y, Z. If you just want to stay on and experience the ship, for 3 or 4 nights or 7 nights with Iona, that you've got that as well. But some of them towards August, September are now looking at stopping as well. So there's going to be some ports in there. Now, the ports, the easiest way I've described it to people is the ship is going to be a bubble. That is one bubble. Everybody's been talking bubbles for the whole year. So that ship is a bubble. And that's why when they say you're only going to go on these excursions, is to keep that bubble safe. We know it's not ideal. We know we want to support the ports. We know we want to go and do our own thing, get off the ship and have a wander around, have a coffee, have a cake, just do our own thing. I love doing that. I really get off, have a wander and get back on the ship to set sail again. That's my ideal way of doing things. But I think while we start this up, just go with what the flow is at the moment, because we're talking what's going to be going on in 3 months' time, which is the first day, 27th of June. Things could change by then, and we could be out of it and we might not be able to do half the things we're doing. It's hard for the cruise lines, but travel agents, yeah, it's great that we've had these bookings coming in, but then, as I said earlier on, P&O changed some of their cruises. So again, we've got to then do the admin again. So we love it. We love our clients. We love looking after people, making sure people have memories and get out and get looked after is my passion. Every travel agent out there is their passion as well. And they'll all come on and say exactly the same thing. But at the moment, it's like, we really hope this goes, because once these go, it's going to be open the floodgates to go, we can cruise safely. We've had no issues. Let's get back to normal in the cruise lines.
Thanks, Martin. Has anyone in the panel heard anything from the cruise lines we've not talked about, like Carnival, for instance? I mean, no, we're waiting for Norwegian Cruise Line as well. Carnival haven't announced anything. Has anyone heard anything about them?
I did, but it was not them restarting. It's them saying we're holding out until the U.S. restarts.
So Christine, you're talking about the president of Carnival, correct?
Yes.
So the video I saw that was just a few days old, she had said that they're absolutely planning to start in the summer, but they are hoping everybody gets vaccinated and they are waiting for the CDC. Mm-hmm. Did you see one after that contradicted that?
No. I meant to say that Carnival, they're not moving to other markets outside the U.S., that they're focused on a U.S. restart. They're not. Oh,
yeah.
That's what I meant
they said that. Do you agree that they said, or did I mishear it? That Christine said that they are definitely planning this summer. They're still on. Okay.
Has anyone else got any info from any of the cruise lines that, obviously Sue mentioned that there are 3 big announcements tomorrow. It's the first I've heard of it. Has anyone else heard of anything? Emma, have you heard anything? Jeannine, have you heard anything?
No, but I mean, the way everything's tumbling out at the moment, nothing's going to surprise us, so we're just all so excited about what's going on and what's going to happen.
Yeah, another thing is that obviously there were so many new ships, because we touched on Virgin Voyages, where I was able to meet Emma in Dover on a windswept day, which is incredible, and they haven't sailed since. So there's quite a few of the new ships are announcing itineraries, like P&O got the Iona, Celebrity the Apex, I think, is it the Apex?
Yeah.
That are cruising. Martin, I mean, you'll probably know about this. What new ships are actually sailing that we can actually cruise from in the UK and for our America friends from North America?
You've got, I always pronounce this wrong, Borealis, you've got Ballet, you've got the Iona. I mean, Iona's not had a passenger on her. The same as Celebrity Apex. She came out the shipyard and that was it. It's shut down. It was like, we can't have anybody on it. So Apex is another new one out there. People in Israel are now going to have the Odyssey of the Seas that's moving over there. There's so many new ships out there. It's just fantastic. I mean, as was said earlier on, Riviera have got some smaller ships sailing around the Scottish Isles. Absolutely. What I think is great, the cruise lines have had a whole year of nothing. And they've all got together and they've brought out these amazing cruises to get people on cruises. It might not be what you normally experience, but you're going to be able to get on board. You're going to be able to have fab entertainment, great food, have a drink and go, I'm back on a ship. And I'll tell you what, I'll happily jump on the first one. I don't care if I have to wear a mask. I really just want to go out there and go show the whole world cruising is safe. And this is what we need.
Well, to Emma's point, I'm ready too, because we can go to resorts. We're allowed to fly. We're allowed to go. I was in Cancun a few months ago where it was kind of wild, and I'm ready. I do feel like personally that the CDC is restricting in the U.S. a lot more than you would anticipate, considering what is allowed and what is being done and what we do feel safe doing. It's kind of surprising because it does seem time for the cruises to be able to do their thing.
Another question, the pricing, because obviously that's going to be really important. What does our panel think as far as the pricing is concerned? Are these cruises going to be affordable? And also thinking upon point of view as a solo cruiser, if you're a solo cruiser, is it going to be affordable? Is it going to be balconies only? I think John wants to say something. Hi, John.
No, I'm just pointing out sky high. Emma commented on that on her show recently, right, Emma?
Yeah. So please tell us what you think about the prices, Emma, and is it going to be possible for solo cruisers to cruise?
I think with the cruises from the UK this summer, the price is the price. You either take it or you leave it. That is the price. I have noticed the prices for next year seem a lot higher than they did a little while ago. So I've had quite a few cruises cancelled for this year. And what I've done is I've just shifted them over to next year. And being able to lock in that price, I have saved so much money versus booking it for next year. So don't be afraid to book cruises, even if you think you might end up shifting them into the future. Sometimes you can save money by doing that. The ones that have come out for P&O, for me, I don't like to spend more than about £100 per night. And there's some cruises there I can do within that budget. So I don't think they're particularly expensive, but there's also not really cheap options. The prices kind of just are what they are, and take it or leave it with the summer cruises, because what else can we do? Like, it is what it is.
I want 70s pricing.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that.
I want 70s pricing.
And what do people think about inside cabins? As a solo, we go into the studios normally. What do you think about inside cabins, gang?
I can tell you most of my guests do not want to travel in an inside cabin now. They didn't mind before, but because of what had happened and transpired with the quarantine, not that I want to bring that back up, but they definitely want fresh air, and almost everyone that's contacting us to book or even inquiring about booking wants a balcony. So I think Emma's correct and John's correct. I think the prices are going to be exorbitantly high in comparison to what they were, and it's going to be take it or leave it, and try to move your credits over now and book something solid as soon as possible. That would be my will solos go? Yes, they will pay more though, I think, because it's just a commodity. I mean, it's a commodity and it's hot, and the cruise lines need to make up too, so they can't be giving discounts where, I mean, we have to be understanding that they just took travel agencies, and cruise lines took the biggest hit ever, and they have to recoup that money.
Fuel just went up 20% around the world. So
and fuel went up, yeah.
Jeannine, pricing, inside cabins, balconies, thoughts?
I think that's definitely right. I don't think people are going to want to have the inside cabins they might have gone for before. I've seen some really good pricing this year. I think one point I was going to make earlier, I mean, I'm really hoping, silver linings to clouds and everything, that of course, we're talking to the converted on this show, but I really hope that these round Britain cruises are going to attract new to cruise clients who've never been on a cruise before, because it is, they've produced such a safe environment for people. And at the end of the day, we can all start traveling again, we can go to hotels, but which hotel, what hotels do you go to where you've got so many restaurants to choose from, celebrity chef restaurants, the entertainment you get on a cruise ship. And even, we've talked about the coastal cruising, which wouldn't bother me at all. I would love to go on one. You can't go to a hotel where you have changing scenery every day. So I really hope that the positive out of this will be that more people will start cruising now and try it for the first time, because, some of like Disney are starting with 2-night cruises, others with 3-nighters. So it's a really attractive proposition for people that might not have cruised before.
Thanks, Jeannine. What I'm going to do, we're coming to the end of the show, which is unbelievable. I don't know where it's gone. And we've got such a wonderful panel. I could talk forever. I really could. So I'm just going to go around from the top, basically, to the bottom where John is. And just very quickly, just ask, is there anything that we've missed talking about? And is there any last advice you give for anyone who hasn't cruised before, or anyone wants to cruise? So I'm going to start with you, Shelby, at the top, and go around the panel. Shelby.
Okay. Well, I think we should do this again. It was a little stressful. I agree with you all. Being around a bunch of professionals in the industry, it makes you feel a little bit more under the microscope, I should say. But I think it went fantastic. So I would love to do this again and share our ideas. I mean, thank you so much for putting it together, you guys. It's fabulous to have this kind of discussion, and I learned a few things that I didn't know too, so thank you so much. Is there anything we haven't discussed? I think we covered most of it, and our tips are, I think, unified in the sense of it's going to be safe. We're excited about going. If you haven't tried it before, now's the time to try it, and book earlier rather than later to make sure that you don't have that price increase happen that we expect, because it is going to be exciting once it starts going out. It's like anything else. People just want to be where other people are. And so be the first.
Thank you, Shelby. Wonderful. Absolutely. Right. Next, please, John. Back to the main screen, please. Mr.
Yes,
Tex,
sir.
I can see who's there.
Whoop. I got to push another button.
Okay.
Here. I know it's here somewhere.
No, just, yeah. Okay.
Whoop.
Right. Tyler, you're next.
Okay, so I agree with everything else everyone said. You basically covered a lot. I just booked a cruise yesterday for in 126 days out of Nassau, Bahamas, and I agree with the pricing thing I want to comment on. The pricing wasn't that much compared to the normal summer cruises out of the U.S. It was very affordable, actually. It was only like $1,000 a person for 7 nights in a balcony cabin on the Adventure. So, yeah, I wanted to bring that up, that I agree with the pricing. The pricing is going to go up, but I have not seen crazy prices increased in terms of sailings this summer out of the Bahamas.
Wow, thank you, Tyler. Well, back to the main screen, please. Melissa?
Yeah, this has been an honor to be here with so many cruise experts. It's been really great, and I've learned a lot as well. I agree with everybody. I think that people should book. I think the prices are going to go up as the demand increases and as more and more people get vaccinated. And as confidence rises, because I feel like as we start to get back to normal, it is the best choice for a vacation. And Sue touched on it earlier, some prices for just local resorts are ridiculously expensive for what you would get. And you get so much more on a cruise, and everyone should just look into it. But this has been great. And if you do it again, please invite me.
Thank you, Melissa. Right. I'm gonna, sorry, Martin and John, we're running out of time. So Jeannine, please.
Well, really, as everybody else has said, but I think for us, the lucky people in the UK, this is such a fantastic opportunity to take your choice from so many different lines and so many ships that, like you said, are like the Armada are suddenly coming to the UK. So don't wait, have a look at what's on offer and book it as soon as you can.
Thank you, Jeannine. And last not least, we have Emma Cruises. Emma, your thoughts, please.
The only thing I would add is, don't be afraid of the inside cabins. I'm still booking inside cabins. I know loads of other people who are going in the inside, and it's fine. We're not going to see the same quarantine to your cabin for a long time thing that we had way back when. Worst case scenario, I don't know, a day while you get back to the port if COVID happened on your cruise, which it shouldn't happen. So go for the inside cabin. If you're a budget cruiser, don't be put off by thinking I need at least a balcony. You don't. I'll be inside. So yeah, that's
Thank
it.
You, Emma. I don't want to say, obviously, thank you to Martin, thank you to John, but most importantly...
I got a statement yet. Don't just push me out here now. Come on, buddy.
Go on in, John. Go for it.
Well, I just want to say that Jeannine said it a little while ago that we're kind of talking to the choir here. But you guys, we should plan 2 months ahead, starting out advice for new cruisers and really promote it. Because right here, and with Sue Bryant, who left us, we should promote a show for newbies, because collectively we can really tell people this is what you need. Emma, Melissa, Tyler, Jeannine, everybody, Shelby, we just need to get the new folks involved here. This is the time for them to go cruising too. That's my final word.
And Martin, you have to have a word then.
Yeah.
My final word would just be to anybody out there, travel agents have suffered dramatically this year. Please book with a travel agent. You're not only supporting the cruise lines, you're supporting a travel agent, and some of those people run their own businesses. So please have a look around, book with somebody who's going to look after you. And that's my travel agent hat on to say.
I second that. Here.
Yeah. We all second that. Now, I want to say, obviously, the most important people are the people who are cruising and the crew on the cruise ships as well. They're the most important people. But I just want to say to everybody here, this has been an absolute honor to have all of you on our show today. We are absolutely honored. I've learned so much. I'm really hoping that we've helped point people in the right direction so we can get back on that cruise ship. So please, everyone, check out everyone's groups, everyone's channels, everyone's YouTube channels. They're wonderful people. We are absolutely honored to be able to host this, and I hope that this can get hosted again at some point in the future. So I want to say, folks, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Of course, I could just stay on. I'm the one who gets to push the buttons, so I think I'll just stay. No. Bye-bye, y'all. Happy Palm Sunday. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
John has the power.
Bye, guys.
Bye.